Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with our idiom for today and a question for you. Is your business par for the course? Par for the course is, of course, our idiom today. What the heck does that mean, and how do I know if my business is par for the course? Share 3 ways that you can figure that out and determine for yourself if you are par for the course or if you're something different in your industry and in the world. Par for the course is an idiom that got popular in the 1920s. It comes, of course, from golf, and it expanded from just applying to the golf course to other areas and aspects of our life in around the 1920s. What does it mean? It means typical, expected result, normal. What it means and what it originally meant was the number of strokes it would be expected that an expert golfer would take to go from the tee to the ball dropping in the cup. And that can range, it depends totally on the golf course and the level of expertise. And I honestly have no idea how they set those expectations and standards, but I'm sure there's some scientific methodology behind it, or maybe they just had the best golfers in the world play the golf and took the average of their number of attempts or another number of shots to get to the cup and then figure it out for each and every golf course. But that was probably originally how they did it, but I'm sure it's more scientific now. Don't know. Might look into it. Probably won't. People love, at least business people love sports analogies. They use sports and they compare organized sports to just about everything and anything with respect to business. I not so much, probably because I'm not super athletic. I'm not very sports minded. I don't follow and participate in a whole lot of sports, especially not as an observer. I like to participate in certain sports and do certain things. I golfed in the day, but I took up golf after I couldn't play tennis anymore when I lost the vision in my left eye. And it wasn't as awesome for me as it is for other people because I always had to have somebody else along, or my partner. I had to count on them to tell me where my ball went. And so was never an awesome golfer. I always liked it because just like everybody else, you have that one great hole in a round of golf, and that's enough to bring you back for more. That's one of the cool things about sports. It's one of the amazing things about business. Things go good, things go bad. More things go bad than ever go well in our businesses. If we actually were to tally up and individually add up all of the experiences and all of the things that go absolutely perfectly right the first time in our businesses versus the things that go wrong, and we keep iterating over and we doing things and trying things over and over again to get it right. If we're honest, a lot more things don't work than do work. That's the nature of the business. That's the nature of our lives. So, par for the course. Is your business a normal, typical business for the industry that you're in? Are you providing your customers the products and the services and the world pretty much what it expects from you? That's a yes or no question. You know if you are or not. You know if you're average or above average or below average in the different ways that you measure performance and the different ways that your customers measure performance. Because the bottom line is, the truth is, it doesn't matter what the industry thinks of you. The industry might think you're the best thing since sliced bread, the leaders and the other people in your industry, but if the customers and the people that you're serving don't think that, it's not going to matter. The only thing that matters is, are we serving our customers to the best of our ability in their minds, in their opinions, in their estimation, because that's what's going to determine the success or failure of any business. So, what are some of the cool ways that you can think of par for the course and how it relates to your specific business? Number 1, how responsive are you to challenges and change? One of the biggest frustrations and one of the best ways to find out what kind of a person you're dealing with is to play a round of golf with them. How do they respond to mistakes? How do they respond to getting stuck in the sand trap? How do they respond to chipping off the green accidentally or into the woods, shooting into the woods or something? How do they respond to the unexpected? Because guess what? How they respond on the golf course? If they scream and yell and are a club thrower, have you ever played golf with a club thrower or a cursor or a swearer? Somebody that would have a bad shot and just went off half-cocked with, you're covering your ears because of the blue streak coming out of their mouth. I have. I don't think I was ever a club thrower. I did throw my tennis racket when I played tennis a couple of times, and I learned that was a very immature, ridiculous, and expensive way to behave because I wrecked my tennis racket. So it only took one time of throwing that to realize that was a stupid thing to do, because I had to buy my own new tennis racket. But how do you respond? Seeing how people respond under pressure is very, very important. How do you respond under pressure? How do you respond to challenges? How do you respond to things not going your way? Because guess what? Just like I said, the majority of things in life don't go exactly as we expected. They aren't normal. They aren't typical. None of us, I don't know where normal and average and all this stuff came from, because guess what? All of us are exceptional. All of us are different. All of us are unique and special, whether it's in our lives or in our businesses. So what else do I like about par for the course? I like the idiom par for the course because it tells us the importance of measuring, and that what we measure matters. What we measure is important. If we measure things, if we know we have a standard to compare it to, then we can see how we're doing. Are we moving toward what we want or away from what we want? So although I don't believe in comparing yourself to the competition, and it also invites competition, the scoring invites competition, but again, remember, what are you competing for? What are you competing against? Who are you competing against? So measuring industry average, all of that, yeah, you can look at those numbers, but don't live and die by those numbers, or your business could die by those numbers if you're not doing what really matters and what really counts. Make sure you're having key performance indicators or measurements and looking at the things that really matter and count for your business success, for what you want to achieve with your business. And the final thing is to remember about par for the course, our customers don't want us to be normal and typical in what we expect. They don't want us to be just like the competition, because if we are, they will shop on price alone and they will not come to us. They will not come to our businesses. So we want to make sure and keep in mind that we don't want to be average. We don't want to be par for the course. We don't want to be normal or what our customers expect. We want to continue to give them incredible experiences, to light them, and to way over deliver and under promise what we can do and serve them in the best way we ever possibly can, and to be continually improving how we serve that. And a lot of that is paying attention to them, communicating with them, following up with them, things like that. So par for the course. Love to know your experience with this idiom and golfing. Like I said, I haven't golfed for probably 28 years. With the exception, of course, of mini golf with the kids, because when the kids were growing up, they did like to play mini golf, and we would go play mini golf. And I was actually a much better mini golf performer than I was on an actual golf course, which tells a little bit about me too. So have an amazing day. I will be with you tomorrow to share another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business right now? Take care.